Culture Club is a community by Culture Monkey. So we typically interview leading organizations in India, the CHROs of leading organizations in India, right? So and we talk about culture. And the first season was about e-culture. That was when the pandemic, the first few weeks of the pandemic, we realized, okay, what happens to culture now? People are not going to office, right? Now, after we have covered all the points extensively. Now we have come to the season 2. This is about managers, right? What's their role during this time, right? So not just this time, the evolving role of managers. So with all of this, right? So we can get started with the session, but before that, I quickly introduce Culture Monkey to our audiences, right? So the best way to introduce Culture Monkey is to start with the story. For me, as an engineer for more than a decade, I was struggling with this problem where knowing the secret that employees deliver their maximum, the team members deliver their maximum if they are happy. And I have seen that in my teams. And when I shared this point of view with managers, with multiple feedback sessions, nothing moved, and there was no anonymity. So I was always scared to be open. And even if I managed to communicate my point of view, there was no action. Always, it felt like my feedback went into a black hole and there's no closure, and I lost all the hope on this process, right? So, but I always knew that, happy employees who feel they are heard, they're in the right place, they deliver the maximum. With this attitude, I think Joseph and I started FE. FE is a software consultancy company. And 2017 is when we started. And for the next 1.5 years, we observed that we saw 0% attrition both on customers and employees. And we were able to make every stakeholder happy. And we were thinking to ourselves, what is going on? Why is this happening to us? What is the secret, right? And that's when we know that this is culture and how everyday behavior of, how we behave every day, how we treat people. So we felt we are, naturally good at this. And at the same time, coincidentally, we felt we have to be building a SaaS, and that's when what else to build but a culture SaaS, right? So that's when 2018 we launched Culture Monkey, and it is so fulfilling that to say that almost 100,000 unique employees are we are able to solve that problem I faced for them now, and we have more than 2.5 million individual data points just in a matter of 3 years. With all of that, right now we realize that managers play a key role in engagement, and managers are the ones that can personalize engagement for their team. And that is the birth of this topic: sustaining and growing employee engagement, evolving role of managers. And in this journey is when we realized we are primarily advanced engineering team, right? So we wanted to learn a lot of people science in this journey. And then that's when we spoke. We had Ketan from Rento Mojo as our customer, and then we started collaborating very closely. And then I learned a lot from Ketan as a mentor and as a in terms of products, in terms of people science. And then we started Culture Club last year, and it has been going well. And now we are looking at we are having Varun from Upstox. Varun Vijaykumar is the head of HR there. And to talk about Varun, I think Varun has worked with brands like Directi, Microsoft, Zinnov Management, Hireworks over his 13 years of work career. Varun has managed variety of functions within HR, talent management, but not limited to HR business partnering, total rewards, talent acquisition, both lateral and campus talent engagement, payroll, and HR operations. I thought, oh my God, that's huge. And Varun is an alumnus of XLRI and IBMR Bangalore, and also VIT, right, Bangalore Institute of Technology. Now, with this context, we're all buckled up for this episode, and over to Ketan. Ketan, please, let's get this session started.
Senthil, thank you so much for that introduction and having me here. And Varun, welcome again to Culture Club.
Thanks, Senthil, for the beautiful introduction. And then I think you sometimes feel a little shy to introduce yourself. It's always good to have someone else introduce you. It's better. Anyway, thanks for that.
Yes.
nice to be on this call. And then it's feeling very nostalgic. It feels like I'm talking to some known group of people, and I think that reflects in what you do also, right? Like it's the quality of people reflects in what you build and what you deliver also. I think that's why it's fun working with Culture Monkey also, and I have heard very great recommendations about Culture Monkey from a lot of my industry peers.
Beautiful, so fulfilling, honestly.
Good, great. Sounds good. And thank you, Varun. Welcome again to Culture Club's sessions powered by Culture Monkey. And thank you for your time, evening time at 7 p.m. I'm sure it is going to get interesting. As Senthil said, this session, what we are talking about is a topic which is about sustaining and growing employee engagement, the evolving role of managers. This is a topic that I've been hearing for ages. I've heard multiple debates, point of views around the role of managers, what they do and what they do not, and what should and what should not. And we thought, why don't we actually start getting views from people who manage organizations, who enable organizations in terms of what do they believe is the role of what do they believe is how the role of the managers are evolving. And with the world going suddenly digital and completely virtual, is there an addition to the flavor that already existed that has got added? Before we get into some specific interesting questions, Varun, why don't you tell us more about you and the organization that the audience would want to know?
Sure. Thanks, Ketan, for the setting the context. To introduce about Upstox, I would just say, if you think about investing, if you think about trading, if you think about making yourself some more wealth, think about Upstox. And if you are a cricket follower, you will keep watching us during the IPL season. We already started this season. You will see us again once the IPL resumes. And most importantly, Upstox as an organization has scaled up phenomenally in the last 2 to 3 years. Today we are about 3.5 million plus customers, which is significant in the investment and trading world. Founded by ex investment bankers, founded by ex McKinsey people, and as well as people from UPenn and Wharton MBA is what Upstox founding steps are, and we have huge plans for the next few years. We want to be one of the largest retail trading and investment platform across the country. But again, it's all in the making, right? We are doing the right things. We are growing faster, very fast growing organization. Of course, hiring is happening a lot. Along with hiring, of course, there is a lot more madness and responsibility for a manager. Just to set some context, it's all comes with some cost, right? Nothing comes for free. So that's about Upstox. So one, I spoke about how Upstox has grown over the last few years and very fast, and this year is going to be even more faster for us, be it in terms of customer acquisition or in terms of hiring. We are going to grow very fast. Just to give you some stats, I said that we moved from 2 lakh customers to 3.5 million plus customers over the last couple of years. In the last 1 year, we have probably grown by 150% in terms of headcount. We were about 250, 260 people. Today, we are about 440 people over a period of the last 1.5 years. That's how fast Upstox has grown. And we'll continue to grow this year. And as far as my background, Senthil gave a very beautiful introduction. While I would say that a lot of things I've been there in the right place at the right time. Only thing what has helped me is to get all these opportunities are I never refrained myself from solving a problem, be it finding an office space or doing admin job or doing a HR job or doing recruitment or going and handling anything outside of human HR. I never stopped myself. I think that's the only way that you'll also get opportunities to learn, and that's how you grow also. So it's been a wonderful journey so far in my professional career, be it with Microsoft or be it with Directi, Media.net, or even right now with Upstox. I think it's very enriching. I've been lucky with what I would say.
Brilliant.
So Vijay, that brings me to the first question. do you think that organizations without a manager could be a reality in the future? Why or why not? What's your point of view here?
Okay, so I don't want to, for you people to think that I'm giving a politically correct answer. It's yes and no. We don't want managers in the future or even now. What we want is we want either one of the two people. Either we want a mentor or a role model, or we want a friend. So what it means is either you mentor me, you be my inspiration, you show me how to do things, I'll follow your steps. If you don't know, at least give me the freedom, let me do it. You ensure that you give me that autonomy and freedom. If you can't do any of this, don't sit and micromanage. I don't want a manager. That's what I would say. Not only future, whether it's going to be pandemic, work from home, or we all are going to be in office or not in office, the current generation is changing, and on top of it, situations like COVID is telling people it's fine. You need to do what you love in your life. It's on all this extra pressure and everything is not required. And the moment you start playing a manager role, you're going to start losing people very fast.
So what I gather from Varun is that the as is definition of managers that possibly the world has seen is not something that the future requires, or even the present, especially in context of the younger generations. And I so much agree to that. I think that the millennials or the Gen Zs are looking at a very, very different kind of relationship or a connect with their managers. It's just not a administrative manager who approves their leaves and work and expenses. This far beyond what they're looking at: a friend when there's a need, and a mentor when there's a requirement. And one thing I know and a shift that I've seen is that managers also these days are so secure, because they themselves have been in that position, and they actually enjoy working with people and enabling them to get their work done. Varun also spoke about a very powerful word, which I'm a huge fan of, is autonomy. It's super important to the generations and to the workforce as it comes. So that's interesting, Varun. Why do you think the world has been divided on the role manager has, or the impact manager has, or has on employee engagement? Having worked with some of the mammoth organizations and some of the very young organizations, I've heard both views, that engagement is HR's responsibility, or somebody saying that engagement is manager's responsibility, and different organizations all would have a different point of view. What do you think has created this divide, saying that, okay, engagement is HR's problem, or ownership, or managers? What's your point of view here?
I think engagement is a business problem. When I say business problem, business means everybody, right? Business, HR. I think if HR is saying, hey, I am only going to do HR stuff, I'm not responsible for growth of the organization or revenue or anything, and we are not in the current era of even HR context is what I would say. So it's a business problem. In real context, it's a business problem. Most of the organizations today are not asset heavy organizations. They are intellectual heavy organizations, right? Any platform that you build, and I would always keep saying context is going to become the most important thing in anything you do in life. And how are you saving that context? You can do it two ways. One is you keep churning out digital saving of all the content and context you have. At the same time, you should also have equal amount of IQ brains which will come and understand those contexts to build much more better platforms and so on. So I would always say it's never a HR's problem or a line manager's problem. In the typical HR world, you call line manager, right? Like, let's say it's not a line manager's problem, it's not a HR's problem, it's a business problem. Anything that you do with people, losing people, I would say, is the biggest opportunity cost that everybody has to think through. Either a manager or a HR or a business person. You lose a good talented person in your team. The actual cost is to hire a new person at a higher compensation, because the guy is going to have 4 or 5 offers in hand. Number two, you're going to take 6 months to give context to that new person. 7th month, the person is going to start doing something, and by the time it's going to be a year for your new person to start contributing. It is nothing like that person has higher IQ or lower IQ. It's very normal. So then in that context, I would say it is never a single person's problem. It's a collective problem. It's both HR and as well as line manager, and most importantly, it's a business problem. It's a huge business problem than anything else.
Yes.
Phenomenal. That's a very interesting perspective. What Varun said significantly is that engagement or matters of culture is a business problem or a business focus area rather than being HR or line manager. Interesting. And
No,
recent.
I'd even go ahead and add a CEO into the equation as well. The CEO must take it on himself to deliver on culture and engagement.
No, that's why I literally
Right?
said it's a business problem. It starts from CEO, the founders, the
Yes.
management, to all the way
Yes.
till even those office admins who are going to get me pens and papers and pen everything. It's a collective business problem. It is not
Absolutely.
any one single unit or one single person's problem.
Yes. Yes.
With the world that has gone suddenly remote and the workplace going overly digital, and with have you seen a shift in the expectation organizations or employees had with from the managers? Now that we are already talking about a shift in the work, the work generation where millennials and Gen Zs are any which was expecting something different. Now, a layer on top of that is the world going digital. Do you think there have been additional expectations that organizations and employees have started to have with their managers?
So, what I would first say is both, the organization and manager have to be compassionate with the team members. For example, when I say compassionate, is I know that there is nothing that person has to do after evening 7, or nothing that person has to do on a Saturday, Sunday, but make sure that it is worthwhile for the person to do anything for you. Like if you're telling the person to work on a Saturday, Sunday, make it something intellectual for you to for them to sit and help you. I'm not saying that as a startup person, I can never say, hey, there is a boundary of 9 to 5 or 10 to 6 sort of a work timing. Or even today, the large MNCs also, they want to start building a lot more newer things and so on. But don't make people feel that they're doing a monotonous or something which is repetitive when you're expecting them to work beyond certain hours. So be compassionate and be judicious about what time investment you are expecting them to make. I think the time, I would want to use the term time investment because it's very costly and people are investing it for you. Make it worthwhile. That is what I would say from an organization or an manager's perspective, what they should do with their team members. At the same time, what team members are expecting from a manager especially is patience with clarity, right? Like I am expecting my manager to have a lot of patience. Why? Because I'm not in a discussion room or a boardroom where I can clarify everything with you on a whiteboard. First of all, hey, am I audible? Am I audible? Like that's the first problem we start with. And second problem is, dude, you need to make sure you are clearing the ambiguity for me. That's why you are called my mentor or my manager. Don't come and tell me, hey, I'm expecting you to write this many lines of codes to push the product into production. Or don't go and tell your recruitment teams, I want you to hire 30 people immediately, right? Rather sit and give clarity. I think you should have everyday morning conversations, which is going to set clarity, which is going to give, you need to clear the ambiguity around everything. If not, you can't play the role of manager. It's sorry to say, if you can't clear ambiguity for people, if you don't know why you are doing something, and if you can't clarify to people, if you can't clarify, if you can't clear the ambiguity, I think then there is a problem. The first thing now people are expecting every time is, given so many bottlenecks in terms of communication, hey, internet is not working, I can't hear you, my Wi-Fi is down. In midst of all of this, first thing is have patience. You have told me something, I am trying to do it for you. Number two, along with the patience, if you can give me clarity, if you can clear my what are the ambiguous statements are there around the problem statement that are given to me, it will be awesome. This is what I need from my manager. You do this for me, I will get everything sorted for you. I will put my life, I'll put everything, I'll put my passion, everything, and I'll solve problems for you.
Great.
if there are managers who are listening to this program, what are the things that they need to work upon? One thing, the first thing I remember that I hear from you is that uh, stretch work is not a problem, but make it intellectually challenging rather than just saying that, okay, you need to work because you're supposed to work and somebody has decided that you're supposed to work. Second is a point that you said is that in the ambiguity, build clarity. I think as a manager, one of the most important roles that people would have to do, and which is probably getting multiplied with the world going digital, is that you have to clear the air and say, okay, this is what needs to be done, this is what you should not be doing, and this is where the organization is headed. Anything else, Varun, that you think you would want the managers to focus on, keeping in view the future of work and how the world is transitioning? What else would you want them to focus on?
So other one is, I would say customization, right? Customization or personalization of your working style with people also. I'm not saying, so when I say the word, you'll have to be friendly, compassionate, everything. At the same time, if there are measures where you'll have to ensure productivity of your team, how can you change your working style? You cannot, today the problem is you cannot say I'm a manager who will only work based on defined metrics and this is the same style I'll use for everybody. It's not going to work. Can you customize it? For example, today also I remember, so today this was with my team. So somebody said, hey, whenever I do mistakes, you don't get really angry, but you are very sarcastic when I do mistakes. And which is funny, and at the same time, it is very effective because I'll never forget that mistake. So I think you'll have to customize and then say, if somebody is very, very highly intellectual in your team, you should probably use sarcasm. You should use that sort of a mentoring to people to get the work done, as opposed to, oh, why you didn't get it done, this is not done, this I'm going to write feedback for you, I'm going to take this as a complete disappointment. No, it doesn't work. So you customize it. If people are of high intellectual capability, you being very sarcastic in a little bit of a smile, they are going to remember it forever, and then they will never do those mistakes. If somebody's IQ levels are lower, it's not going to be easy for you to say I'm going to hire everybody in my team as Einstein, right? It's impossible. Number one. Number two, people with different intellectual capability, you use a different style. People with a lower intellectual capability, but they have skills, that they're hardworking. How do you go and work with them? So for them, what you need to do is you need to probably set up a call and then say, hey, let me sit and show it to you for you how the problem is solved. You solve one problem for them live, show them how it is solved, then tell them how to solve it. Maybe for people who are fast learners, who are very sharp, probably you just tell them the problem statement and then they'll be able to pick up. So I would say, along with everything else, customize and contextualize according to people. Don't operate in a world where I had a sprint in the morning, I gave you instructions and I expect you to solve it. It's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So no, I think we should ask from Varun all the categories of people. Intellectual. Okay, there's a playful. How do you?
I wish, sir. I wish. Life comes with so much of instructions manual to manage people. Then you and me wouldn't be doing this session only. Like, people would have been so awesome.
Absolutely. This is reminding me of the types of listening, because we are also talking about at Culture Monkey. We're saying, hey, listen to your employees, right? So I was doing obviously a lot of research, and this I wanted to define listening, right? And then there's so much scientifically, neurologically, there's so much, right? But I never found any other way that best defines listening than this Buddhist way of doing it, where they say there are 4 types of listening. Upside down pot listening, where you don't take whatever the other person is saying. The upside down pot doesn't even take in. There is a pot with holes, which you pour water, it'll act like it is there, but it'll leak out. There is a dirty pot listening, which already has a set of prejudices and opinions, and it'll listen to you, and the whole time they are judging. And then there is empty pot listening, which is Ketan mentioned like few seconds ago, clear the air, or you said clarity, and all of these things comes from empty pot listening, where the managers are sitting there with space, with created space for the team, for the employees, and then completely understanding what they're saying, and then and customizing, like you said, in terms of sarcasm, in terms of showing an example, right? So I think all of these things got reminded, but I think your point in terms of personalizing based on the persona of the team, right, is going to be very powerful. This is something that I think everyone should also come to that realization.
No, Senthil, you made a very strong point. Like, for example, even before you going and expecting something from your team, first of all, do you have the listening skills? Are you the empty pot or are you the dirty pot? Like, you'll have to be clear first. Then you can go and like probably mentor your team. You can help people to get things done.
Absolutely. Yes.
When you spoke about the power of personalization or customization, so what I hear from you is that's in context of how to deal and how to work with an employee or a team member. Are there dimensions of engagement also that you believe can take the shape of personalization as we go ahead? Is that the direction where the entire concept of engagement, the psychological connect with the employee, the bind with the employee also moving towards?
Yeah. So today, for example, I know like all of us here would have, at least between three of us, we would have seen before 10 years, before 12 years, we would have seen engagement, meaning, birthday celebrations or the so-called cake cutting celebration, right? But today, engagement is way too customized and it is very like personified at each level, right? For example, during the year of COVID, all my employees are expecting, can I have a good mental wellness program? Can I have a good insurance benefit program? Can I have something that where there is a one-to-one connect with maybe my HR or my people? People are expecting, in this period, they're expecting a different set of engagement plans. Now, once let's say before COVID era, like probably in the year of 2019, when I used to be in Directi, the engagement was more towards what else I can upskill, what else I can learn more, what I can probably pick up as a new skill set, right? So it depends, not only customization and personification for people, also the circumstances, right? You can't now, when people are worried about their very existence or their health and their loved ones' health and safety, you can't go and talk about let's have cake cutting celebrations, let's have online music concert or stand-up comedy, like that will be like a joke. Now at the same time, in maybe 2-3 years from now, if I go and sit and talk about, in insurance we are going to cover your loved ones, your dependent sibling, it's not going to work, right? Like, I know I got it already, now you tell me what else you're going to do for me. Maybe that context will again change. So context in terms of the circumstances and as well as personalizing it for people will be the future for engagement. I don't think any standard engagement can happen anymore. Like that era is gone.
Interesting. How about Rangoli? You didn't talk about Rangoli.
Let's forget Rangoli. Independence Day, ethnic dress wear. Let's not talk about it. It's all gone. It's all gone. No, that's what I'm saying. That the way the outlook of life has changed. Now you can't be the same HR, same manager, or same even organization anymore. You'll have to think very differently.
Good. So that's Varun reinforcing and talking about how powerful and the future of engagement is all about personalization, and I'm in agreement with him. When I also look at myself and I look at my managers, I would have always wanted them to take care of me for who I am, rather than trying to run a policy or a system that just covers me like anybody else. So glad that it is here, and I'm so happy that there's technology which is actually going to enable this. So one is the maturity of organizations and managers, and second is technology enabling that. I think that sets up the ground for something very, very interesting as we go ahead. Before we conclude, I have some rapid fire questions for you, Varun. If
As long as it doesn't put me in trouble, I'm more than happy to take the fire.
Our intent is to do that exactly.
Okay.
Let's see how much successful are we.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So first, if not HR as a profession, what would you have chosen?
Oh, I would have chosen cooking. I would have been a chef. I love cooking a lot.
Okay, that answers the second question now.
Yeah. Then the second is, during the lockdown, which was easier, cooking, cleaning, or mopping?
I would say cooking. Washing utensils and cleaning the house is not worth it. You don't like it, and your wife doesn't like that you can't do it.
but a lot of people who chose cooking had to do cleaning also, because when they would cook and they would say you are the one who created a mess, so you better go and clean, and because if you have to cook next day.
No, that's why people started saying, I love my hometown. I went back to my hometown. That means in hometown, in smaller places, you'll have more family people, you have maids, everybody who are still coming home. So people luckily move to their hometowns. They don't anymore stay in metropolitan cities.
Now we know why there's so much of migration that has happened. That brings me to the third question. Any personal, professional goal, aspiration that you're chasing and that you're comfortable sharing here?
So, personal goal is something that I will be very happy to share. I love music a lot, which I haven't been able to achieve. Probably I'm still learning. I just started learning violin before like 2 years. So my personal life dream is, I don't know, maybe it may sound like enforcing it on my daughter, but I want my daughter to be like dictating her life's terms and conditions. Only few people can do it. Either you should be a doctor or a lawyer, or you should be a musician. So I would want her to become like a great musician, someone like an A.R. Rahman or probably Ariel or somebody, right? So she doesn't have to work in the standard 9 to 6, or she doesn't have to have the managers to give instructions. She can decide what she wants to do.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm already teaching her some music and stuff. So that's my personal life goal. But let's see.
God bless her, and she would also not be sitting at 7:30 in a closed room having a conversation.
Probably she might be doing an online concert for all you know.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's on the personal life. Professional life, nothing. If I can be like end of my another 10 years of work life, if I could have created 10 great people managers, 10 great leaders, I think I am done with my professional life. I don't want to put a ceiling saying I want to become a CEO or a CHRO or a COO, but I would say if I can create 10 leaders before I quit working, I think that's my dream. Like 10 people should say, hey, I'm prodigy of Varun. That's what would make me like feel
Brilliant.
content.
Yeah, absolutely. That's inspirational. Fourth one, a book that had the maximum impact on you, and you would
what got you here? I recently read the book, so it's me and my wife have been reading. We just started like a lot of interesting stories that to read around.
Marshall Goldsmith. That's a powerful book for all the users, viewers. Definitely must grab. Answers a lot of things for life and for career. The last one thing you thank the lockdown for.
Being with the loved ones for, I know it's a lot of problem, pain. Like right now, I don't know, you don't know how much I'm struggling because my daughter is constantly opening the door to talk to me. But I think it's fun. If not for lockdown, I don't think people would have valued family, love, and affection and all of it. I think it's created a lot of. I think that I would thank. I've spent time with my mom almost like for 8-9 months now, which before lockdown I would probably spend once in 3 months or 4 months, couple of days, and then fly back to my workplace. Right? I think it's become very different. It's giving a very, very emotional feeling. Like it's like for a change, it gives a very happy feeling compared to all the nonsense around. That still gives a very
it does. In
nice
fact,
feeling.
Senthil, if you remember, and if this is our 22nd session, I think consistently almost all 22 people would have shared exactly this point, saying that it helped us take a pause and stay connect with our family and spend time with the near and dear ones. So it's powerful, and thank you for sharing that one.
Yes.
But that's something that I've just heard in all.
Yes.
No?
All.
Everybody we have spoken to.
Yes.
Yeah, we couldn't agree more.
Yes.
All right, so that's it from my side, Varun. Thank you so much. It's been a phenomenal having a conversation with you.
No, you guys, I should thank you guys. You guys made my day light. I'm suddenly feeling so energized, and it's so light right now. I feel like, oh, somebody has spoken something good to me after a long time types.
Wow. No, I think it's great. I don't know. No, if I have to summarize this conversation, right? I think from the start, right, where Varun, you're talking about managers as a friend or as a mentor, right? Or also points around the current workforce, or either being intellectual heavy more than asset heavy, right? So, and in terms of, you use the word time investment, which is something that we also take very seriously, and a lot of companies don't, right? So in terms of patience with clarity, right? So for the managers, and a lot of these, and customization, personalization, and we spoke about with the sarcasm, using that as with the intellectual ones, right? And the timing, like you said, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, you offer the same thing and expect engagement in return. You're not going to get it, right? That's how human beings evolve, right? So I think all of these points, were, in my opinion, were very powerful yet simple to, these things touched many places yet simple to, understand, and simple to also implement it in our workplaces, right? So that was phenomenal. Thanks a lot. And thanks a lot, Ketan, for your time. So this is
and last point to add is, I think all of this is going to be possible only through technology, and none of this is going to be possible without technology. You speak either engagement or mentoring or anything. I think without technology, it's not going to be possible. And I see, and I'm genuinely not like saying it for the heck of saying in an interview or a questioning session. I think
absolutely, Varun. I mean, there's a lot more. I mean, there are to take a moment and cover that. What we have done at Culture Monkey very differently from other companies is that we are intending to already have dove into engagement and culture alone, full scale. We want to go deeper and deeper and deeper and build more modules and features around engagement, culture. And in fact, even this morning I was telling one of the co-founder that, hey, employee psychology is what we want to solve for. And that is where a lot of problems are mushrooming. And we have to solve for that. And, other things, other mathematical, logical stuff in the HR tech, we will come to that. But once we have solved for the entire psychological problems, there is so much that's coming.
That's a vast problem set also. As we keep saying, it is not the same for everyone. What is something else is different for each employee out there. It's not the same psychological thing that they'll expect from you, or problems that they would have. Everything is different.
Absolutely. So yeah, thanks a lot for all the points.
No, I should thank you, people. I really enjoyed this conversation. So it was it's almost like talking to friends, and that again, that reflects what Culture Monkey is all about. It's awesome. It was an awesome conversation with you guys.
Thank you. And maybe I can close it by all the points that you made, or so even for a person who does not know how to use the elevator, can still understand all these points and create an impact. I just took that from the Upstox ad.
No, I didn't want to use my MBA skills or HR skills. I wanted to be like really friendly to people who are hearing also.
Yes, you're right. See, that works. In the end, that works. I'm a very very philosophical books reader. I've read a lot of books, but the books that are simple. I think in the 16th century, a lot of books from Austria and from France, there are many books. They are very simple. There's no jazz. There is no complicated words. But they ended up making the biggest, shaping my character a lot, right? So I think that's how I felt all the points. The people, the simpler points make the biggest impact. So thanks a lot for all of that.
In fact, a book that I'm reading, Senthil, you would love it. I don't know if you have read it. It's called The Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. I was skeptical when I picked up, but just grab a copy of that.
Right. I'm actually literally reading a book of a monk itself, the Gospel of Ramakrishna.
Okay. No, thanks,
Yeah.
Chetan, for that recommendation.
Yes.
I'll also pick it up.
Yes.
It's a nice one. Me and Senthil
I
exchange a lot of those conversations about
Yes.
books, self-help, because I do coach people. That's something that I'm very passionate about, apart from my HR practice, and we do exchange a lot of notes on book. And glad to have you here, Varun.
Sure.
Thank you.
Right.
Nice that I could have attended this session and I'm got connected to two other good souls as well. So very happy.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.